So Blue Beetle's coming back, everybody.
Oh, I
Blue
didn't see this one.
coming back. Oh, Mike did not see. I don't know if you see the movie, Mike, because a lot of people did not see the movie. But this is an animated Blue Beetle series moving forward from DC Studios. Lethal Grandpas, yeah. S. Miguel Puga coming in forward, working on this project since early this year to serve as a showrunner and director for Blue Beetle, while we have Christian Martinez is the writer for this project moving forward. Angel Manuel Soto, who directed the 2023 Blue Beetles, coming back on board to be executive producer, and they're trying to tie it all together to the actual film. The voice cast has not been announced, but the hopes is they're going to bring it back all the actors or a lot of the actors from the movie, so this all becomes a connected tissue type deal. And if this show does well, that it could eventually branch into another movie back on the big screen. But I don't understand, like, you know, the movie did not do well at all. It freaking sucked. The movie did horrible. The movie did freaking super horrible. So, like, how can you do another series in hopes that that's maybe better animated form? Maybe there's more comic book stuff they can actually make work out of this. But they're hoping there's a positive response so they can get back and bring them back to the big screen and then actually bring back Zolo Marituena? I think that's how you say his name.
You got it. Nailed it.
Yeah, they're bringing him back. They want to bring him back, have him back. So it's interesting what's happening with that. And of course, also, like, maybe James Gunn has an idea. He said he did like his performance as Blue Beetle. Maybe we're going to find a way to bring him back somehow. And of course, you know, he's also been shooting, James Gunn's been shooting the Superman movie. And everyone's going nuts about Chris Pratt was on set. I don't know if you guys saw that too, but Chris Pratt was at Video Village. Everyone's like, oh, who's he going to play in Superman? I'm like, guys, he's at Video Village hanging out with his friend. Like, who fuck doesn't mean anything.
He's just chilling. People are allowed to chill. He's just hanging out.
Yeah, people can do their thing.
Yeah,
but Sean, as the king of comics, how do you feel about this
Jamba Juice back there?
Jamba Juice?
What?
I don't know. Mike's having a moment. Jamba Juice.
Jamba Juice? What are we talking about,
Jamba Juice?
I'm having technical difficulties over here. Video Village. You hang out at Video Village with your friends because you're visiting them on the soundstage, and you bring them a Jamba Juice, and you brought yourself a Jamba Juice too, and you're both drinking them.
So, Mike, do you believe that Jamba Juice is?
El Escarabajo Azul.
All right. Great take from Mike. That's some hot takes from Mike. Congratulations. I'm giving a round of applause on that one, Mike. A round of applause. Sean,
I'm coming off and getting back on. I'm having too hard. It's too hard.
You're doing the best
come back. Do the best you can. Sean, how do you feel about this Blue Beetle series moving forward? Does this make sense? Is this a way to save Blue Beetle in the DCU? Or is this too far, too gone after that movie came out and everyone's got the stink of it still in their nostrils?
No, I think Blue Beetle suffered the curse of, a dying universe, really. The DCU, the writing was on the wall way before this movie finally saw the light of day. We knew that it wasn't going to matter what happened. We knew we weren't going to really see a continuation of this character. It was just going to be this, and then James is going to come in and do whatever he wants. So this movie and Aquaman 2 got fucked, and I am all for telling this story, telling this iteration of the Blue Beetle story uniquely, because it's a very great, it's a great point of view. It's a Puerto Rican family. Right? Yes. Oh God, I hope I'm right in there. But like that, I really appreciated what that was, what that movie was trying to do, introducing younger talent, diverse talent into the DCU. It wasn't just white guy. And I've have a pretty good track record of mentioning this, but the DC animated universes, they do great. They do really great one-off kind of movies. There's not too many ongoing things. Obviously, the Harley Quinn animated show was fantastic. If you haven't watched that on Max, do that.
So good.
They were Mexican Queen. Thank you. I forgot. But no, it's I don't know. It's a good character. There's a lot to kind of unpack with him. There's a lot of mysticism around the whole beetle and the scarab and all that kind of stuff. And we barely got to scratch any of that in the movie. We had a lot of, a Hispanic family shooting guns in that movie. And we had a really bad, I can't remember the woman's name, who was the main villain.
Oh, yeah.
What was
the
her
mother?
name? She's really famous. She's a famous woman.
Yep. I can't tell you
Name
the
a
name,
woman,
Sean.
Brian. Oh, forget it. No, I couldn't
Judy Dench.
remember. Who?
Nope. Nope.
GR? What?
What you got, Thirsty Daddy?
I said Hillary Clinton. You said an evil woman, so I picked her.
Oh, let's not get political. Let's
going
not get
there.
political, man. Jesus, Susan Sarandon. Susan Sarandon was in that movie.
Oh, that's right. She was in that movie.
And what a
that's
weird
right.
choice. George Lopez was in there doing one-liners and acting like a kooky uncle. Like I feel like it did well with that audience. Like I felt like those were relatable kind of tropes and recognizable characteristics and of just that family dynamic. And I think that's what made that movie unique. But again, it was just too little, too late to save the DCEU. So a lot of people kind of wrote it off before it even came out. So
I really didn't even mind the movie. I thought it was good action, I thought it was kind of fun, but overall it's like you're right, Sean. It was a time of it's unfortunate for the time it was, because they were already saying we're rebooting it, restarting it. They really should have waited to say that before these other movies came out, like this and Aquaman and The Flash. Kind of killed a lot of these movies. Not that they were like blockbuster, globally best movies ever, but still it did take the steam out of their sales, so they weren't able to actually.
I forget. Okay, so the director is Puerto Rican. That's where I got that one wrong. All right, my bad, guys.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. GR, what do you think about this, though? Do you think that this makes sense to go animated with this series because the movie didn't do well? We take it back. I keep hearing online people are in the chat too saying that that we'll try as a series now. Does that make sense, or do you let this franchise, just kind of the movie, kind of die off and you wait for a while to bring it back again?
Chat's got me laughing.
I think Sean said it best. I mean, the timing for that movie was horrible. If they wanted to introduce the character, they should have held it until that new universe existed. But they didn't. As for the animated, I really couldn't care less for it.
Did you see it?
The character in the comics is a good character. But they buried it, and then I don't see it really doing anything beyond that.
Did you see Blue Beetle? Did you like it, GR?
It was I don't think it was done well. It could have been a lot better.
I think the problem you got into
that a lot better than the movie.
Yeah, it was just two like robot guys shooting lasers at each other at a while, and we've had enough of that. Yeah, exactly.
It's been a lot of that. You're right.
Spice Boys.
This is the Spice Boys. Did you say?
Yeah, ENGR, Spice Boys. There you go.
Oh, Spice Boys.
Red Shirt Crew. Why not?
Yeah, I like that.
Some great things being brought up in the chat about the movie. A lot of it didn't make sense. A lot of it was just, of course, we're going to have their family just be all cool about murdering things and more murdering people. That's fine.
I mean.
And it was a Technicolor light show. And I still don't really understand what Susan Sarandon was supposed to do in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're right about that. It's like they had the whole thing about how Blue Beetle doesn't want to kill anybody, but then his family's just like slaughtering bitches.
Families were fine with it. The grandma had like a chain gun or a mini gun at one point.
It's like, what the hell are we doing right now? They didn't give two shit.
The rule of combat: kill them all and let God sort them out.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened.
Hey now.
All right, Peppy. What do you think? Mike? Mike, do you think that this Blue Beetle would work as a series? Do you agree that maybe it's just like at a time, just because the DCU was dead? And is there a world that maybe, kids maybe will watch? Maybe they target like young adults and they go for the teen stuff and they try to get young kids to fall in love with this that are like 12 to 15, and then they have that audience grow up with it for a little bit, and then they make a movie based off that, and they kind of reimagine it in a lot of ways so it adapts for a new generation.
I think you hit the nail on the head right there, Brian. How did it perform? Did we talk about that while I popped off?
It bombed, man. Yep.
It
bombed.
It bombed, but they want to push it. They want it to happen. They think it can happen. So exactly like you said, Brian, they're trying to get the kids in right before they have any spending money. Then boom, they'll age into a little bit of pocket money. They'll be working at the Arby's, and they'll have $16 that they got to spend, and they're going to spend it on Blue Beetle 2 when it makes it to the movie theater. I think you're spot on, Brian.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's going to be. Sean, do you know, there was another Blue Beetle at one time? Do you know about this?
Oh, there were 3 Blue Beetles. The one that you have up there right now is Ted Cord. Sorry. And the original, what the hell was his name? Looking it up.
Let's go back to Ted.
Don't remember. He was way old, though.
No.
But yeah. The original Blue Beetle was Dan Garrett. And so Blue Beetle, okay, we're getting real stupid here. There was a comic book company called Charlton Comics, and DC absorbed Charlton Comics and then repurposed and reused a lot of the characters that made Charlton Comics. So Blue Beetle, Dan Garrett was his name, and then he went over and Ted Cord was much more a character kind of like, I'm living up to the the importance of this character, right? Like I took on this persona to honor the legacy of Dan Garrett. So yes, there have been a couple Blue Beetles. There you go.
Yeah. There we go. Maybe they'll make a different Blue Beetle, and then they could tie it into the movie somehow too. Maybe they start again and then bring in, the cast movie.
Yeah, it's tough because I think there's 2 different generations at play here. You have the Ted Cord original Blue Beetle fans that want to see him quipping with the Booster Golds, and then you have the younger generation, or again a Hispanic target audience or younger. They just want a more diverse character, and then the Jamie Reyes. And again, his take on Blue Beetle is a lot different in terms of how it operates. Like, he uses the scarab and taps into it in a way that Ted Cord never did. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack. It's a lot of weird comic book shit. Let's just be honest. There's just a lot there. And
they've been working on Booster Gold too, so maybe they would tie them together somehow.
Yeah, they could. Yeah. They could. I think, especially after Ted Cord was killed off in the comic books and Jamie Reyes kind of came up, Booster Gold took on a couple little mentor roles. It was really hard for him, I think, too. Or at least they made it seem like it was hard for him to accept it for a while, but then realizing this is what Ted Cord would do, is be a mentor to, the new generation. So,
Booster Gold sounds like a cryptocurrency.
How much time you got? What do you want me to tell you about Booster Gold, man?
Yeah, Mike, how you feeling about Booster Gold? What are you thinking?
I think you should buy. I think it's going to be the currency of the future. I think you should get in now. Right. Get in now at the beginning. Get in with those Beetle bucks.
Big bad Beetle bucks.
Remember Beetleborgs? Remember Beetleborgs?
Yep.
He's just singing, man.
Yeah, I was singing it. Big bad Beetle bug.
That's a toy novelty that they're trying to push. They're like, it's a C tier property that the executives just desperately want to happen.
Yeah. Beetleborgs, man. What a time. The show was ridiculous, but I remember watching it as a kid. Oh, this isn't Power Rangers. What the hell is this shit? Oh, Rita. My Rangers. Oh, that's Alpha. Aye. Fuck, man. Anyways, I know what I'm saying. But this is moving forward. We got a Blue Beetle animated series happening, and Booster Gold appeared in the episode of Justice League Unlimited. Thanks, Queen. Booster Gold. I wonder who would play Booster
series.
Gold.
Justice League Unlimited, fantastic series. It's a good. It was a great expansion from the original Justice League animated show. Dealt with a lot of different characters from different timelines and a lot of Easter eggs in that one. But yes, the Booster Gold episode was pretty good. What was the name? Bruce Timm? Is that who it is?
Bruce Timm is the Batman guy?
Yeah. No, the guy that does. So Booster Gold has a robot named Skeets that kind of gives him some shit. So it's pretty funny.
Skeets.
Skeets what's his superpower?
Yeah, that's a good question.
He's a robot, man. He's a little robot, little talky robot guy that just flies around.